Hello, Air Fam! Say hello, Air Family! Welcome back to another episode of Diamond Chat. It is the one and only Nikwa C here with a new fresh episode. This is little Miss Chanel. She is my little fur baby, and we are sitting here utilizing our time in our quarantine. So, I hope everyone is having a good day in, that we are taking all of our safety and precaution measures as we continue to go forward. And as we're sitting in home each and every day, I hope that we're utilizing our time, getting able to do all the things that you normally don't get to do because of work and everything that's going on, reading all the books, staying healthy and fit, and all of that fun stuff. But let's go ahead and start talking about our topic for today. First and foremost, make sure you hit that subscribe button right down there so that you don't have to miss any episodes of Diamond Chat. And make sure you hit the little bell so you get a notification every time I upload a new episode. And of course, make sure you go and you follow me on social media. I mean, hello, who wouldn't want to follow me? So my social media handle is at @StaniquaC and at Diamondeir. So I am here as your motivational coach, as your friend, as your mentor, as someone to just, relate to and talk to as we continue to navigate through our journey of purity. Whether you're abstinent, celibate, or virgin, I am here to give you the tools that you need to empower you on the journey ahead. We talk about everything from life to, of course, sex, to our education, our intellectual capacity, and all of the above. So let's go ahead and jump right into today's topic. Last week, I talked about the window shopper, and that video I'm gonna put up here in the little corner with the little link. So if you would like to, go ahead and pop over and watch that video as you continue on to this video. So I said that previously that there are 4 different types of shoppers. There is the window shopper, there is the potential buyer, there's the buyer, and then there is the shoplifter. So on today's episode, we are going to be talking about the potential buyer, and I think potential buyers are dope. Buyers are dope too, of course, but I think potential buyers are so dope because they understand you, they get you. So with the potential buyer, their objective, when I think about it, is they've studied the product, they spent time to understand the responsibility that goes with the product, but they just can't fully afford you. But because they can't afford you, that doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing, and there doesn't necessarily mean that there's negativity or ill will tied to them not being able to afford you. If I could say it any more plain, one good example I would give that I've seen with a potential buyer is at one phase of my life, there was a young gentleman who had a thing for me. He had a crush on me, and he understood my weight. He took the time to get to know me, and he respected me because of my weight, but because of the phase that he was in his life, he knew that he couldn't fully handle the responsibility of what it took to be with someone like myself. But he understood the responsibility. He just was not prepared mentally to handle being connected to me in that aspect. And at the end of the day, he still wanted what was best for me in life. He still wanted to see that I got connected with the right people, and he respected me in the midst of. And matter of fact, the one thing that I respected about him was that he told me I would rather not be connected with you in that way than to try to be connected to you and live a lie and end up hurting you worse. So you can't get mad at that, right? Like, what? No, like, hats off to you, sir. I respect you so much for doing that. And that's what the potential buyer does. The potential buyer's job is to respect who you are, respect what you bring to the table. But for whatever reason at the time, they can't afford to be around you. They just can't afford to handle your weight because they realize it's heavy. Like, it's heavy. So they understand that, you know what? Not right now. Like, I'm not saying that I won't ever get it, but just right now is not the right time. It's almost like, if I could equate it to anything, it's almost like, for me, how I may want like a handbag or a pair of shoes or something that I've been having my eye on for a while, and I've taken the time to study the item. I know all about the item, all of the responsibility that comes with it, but it's just not in my price range right now. So even though it's not in my price range, that doesn't make it any less value. Even though it's not in my price range right now, it doesn't mean that I don't want it or I don't respect it. Because I do, I just can't afford it right now. And there's no harm, no foul, because I can't afford it right now. I'm being honest with myself and saying that, not right now. But that doesn't mean that I won't get it, because, and that's one thing I will say, you just have to be careful what you wish for, because you just might get it. Because sometimes we will sit and like steady on something and really, really want it, really, really want it, and then we get it, and then there's so much more headaches with it. Because why? Because we weren't responsible. We understood the responsibility, but we didn't understand the whole responsibility of what came with what we bought. And it's a flip side to this too, if I could say honestly. It's a flip side. It's almost like, I don't know if you guys have ever been in a situation where you may have met someone and you thought that you wanted to date them because you liked them so much, and for whatever reason it just was not ever going to happen, and then you want it so badly that once you do get the relationship, it's kind of like, this isn't what I thought I wanted. Like, there's a lot that comes with this person. This situation has a lot of baggage, and I can't handle that. And when I think of the potential buyer, I feel like that's what they're saying, that's what they're doing, but they're not doing it in a hurtful or malicious way. They're just saying, I know that I can't afford this. This is not what I'm about. This is not what I can handle right now. So I'm just gonna kind of like step off and back off before we get in too deep. And I've even seen this with like friends, like friendships that I've had where of course I was in a way, but they were still sexually active and doing what they were doing. And for them, they were so proud and so happy for my weight, but for them it was really hard for them to be friends with me, because they knew that being around me, being my friend, meant that, birds of a feather flock together. And at the end of the day, if we're supposed to be friends, we're supposed to be connecting together, we should be influencing each other, all for the greater good. We should all be motivating and pushing each other to be better. And the friends that were potential buyers, their issue wasn't with me or anything like that, because like I said, they respected the fact that I was in my weight. They thought that my weight was so dope. But because of the phase that they were in life, they knew that us being friends and connected, we were going to continue to push and motivate each other to do better and be better. And their goal and their desire would be to be abstinent or celibate. But the phase of life that they were in right then they were just not ready to be in that phase, and they knew that if we were going to continue to stay connected and continue to be friends, that eventually a path to purity would be something that they would essentially come naturally to them, because they're around me all the time. They hear what I'm talking about all the time. They see the things that I'm going through, they see the things that I'm doing. And like I said, birds of a feather flock together. You eventually rub off on the people that are around you, and they understood that my weight and my purity would naturally rub off on them. Not me forcing anything on them or anything like that, but just naturally, because of the vibes and the energy and everything that I give off, they would naturally go into a weight, and they knew at that phase in their life they just weren't really ready for that weight, because they knew that it's a lot that comes with this. So of course they parted ways with me, and they're still out there in the universe, and I pray that they're all doing well. But they exited, and there's no bad blood, there's no negativity, there's no ill will, and it is what it is. And you have to allow people to exit. And I feel like for me, that was the hardest part about this phase, is allowing people to exit, because I am just really big on loyalty. I'm big on feeling as though it's my responsibility. If I'm gonna be a friend, or I'm gonna be connected to you, like, I'm gonna be the best dang it friend that you have. So I have a hard time sometimes with letting people go, and this phase of life helped me. This phase of friendship, this phase of connections with potential shoppers helped me to understand that it's okay to let some people go naturally. Some people just break apart, and that's another thing. Sometimes, like, the exiting doesn't have to be the super, like, oh my gosh, like, they're gone. It doesn't have to be the super dramatic thing. But sometimes just in life, we go through different phases in life where we just kind of like naturally progress and, dissect, and we go our different ways. And I can say the one thing that I've been thankful for is the people that I have just naturally let go, and like we go and do our own life journeys. Eventually, a lot of them come back to being buyers, but they just had to go through what they needed to go through. I needed to go through what I needed to go through so that I can grow and become better. Because at the end of the day, you don't want to try to keep people bound to you that aren't meant to be bound to you in that moment, because all you're doing is stunting their growth. Heck, you could be stunting your own growth by forcing people to stay in a space and in an area that they no longer fit in. And that's just the truth, that's just the way life is that you're gonna have potential shoppers, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like, that just naturally occurs in life. Sometimes you just have those, those friends. Like, I've had friends and people around me that I thought I would be with until the very end, and they're not here on this journey with me now. But that doesn't mean that they're bad people or that anything is wrong. We're just in two different phases of life. So they were here for the time being, for the moment that they needed to be here to understand and study what they needed to, but now they have to go on and move on until they're able to really purchase and buy what you're selling and what you have and what you have to offer, because you don't want anyone to come in like a thief. We definitely don't want that. So I would say continue to let people go and let them leave and become the best versions of themselves while you continue to evolve and become the best versions of yourself. And just remember that just because someone is around right now doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be permanent. It could be temporary, and there's nothing wrong with having potential buyers in your life and in your circle. They're there for a reason, and we need them. They're a part of the growth process. They are the ones that remind us that there's still good people in the world. They're the ones that still remind us that, yeah, this is why I'm on this journey. This is why I'm still here. This is why I'm called to be a good friend, a good motivator, a good leader, and a good encourager for you and for myself. So that is all for the potential buyer. I hope this video helped you all. Please be sure to put any comments, any any thoughts or opinions that you have about this video down at the bottom. And I pray that you all are having a blessed and productive day. You continue to have a blessed rest of your day. And I will see you all next time. Bye, guys.